A very long time ago, in a prosperous and vast kingdom, lived an aging king. He had no child, no heir to inherit his throne. One day I will be gone, he would think to himself, and who will rule my kingdom then? Who will protect my people? Let the most capable person in the land become the next ruler. A wonderful idea, he said, but how will I recognize such a person among so many subjects? The master leaned closer and whispered a plan into the king's ear. As he listened, the king's face lit up with a smile. He finally understood. That very same day, the king returned to his palace and summoned his minister. Your Majesty, this is madness. It's too simple. Every single person in the kingdom will rush to the palace gates. But the king simply replied with a confident smile, "No, only the truly worthy will reach me." The next morning, as the sun's first rays touched the land, a great migration began. At the very entrance of the main road, the king had set up a grand royal fair. It was a spectacle of temptation. The air was thick with the irresistible aroma of food. Royal chefs were busy preparing the most lavish dishes, imaginable sweet, sticky desserts, rare exotic fruits, rich, flavorful curries foods that most people had only ever dreamed of tasting. Soon they were feasting, their bellies full, their minds hazy with satisfaction. They completely forgot why they had even started walking in the first place. Nearby, graceful dancers in vibrant costumes captivated the crowds with their fluid movements. People gathered around, mesmerized, lost in the beauty of the performance, losing all sense of time as the hours drifted by. There were archery competitions with golden arrows as prizes, wrestling arenas where champions were celebrated, thrilling horse races, and mind-bending balance challenges. People, eager for a moment of glory, joined in. They chased prizes, they chased applause, they chased the thrill of competition, the original goal of reaching the palace, now a distant memory. Then came the royal drink section. Barrels of the finest wines and strongest ales were offered freely to all. The journey, the throne, the king, it all no longer mattered. And near the very end of this road of temptations stood a pleasure camp. Beautiful women with inviting smiles stood at the entrance, beckoning the male travelers to come inside for rest and comfort. Many men, driven by their desires, entered without a second thought, and they never came out. The camp was a final, powerful trap for those who had made it this far. As the sun began its slow descent towards the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and red, a strange quiet fell over the road. Not a single person had reached the palace. Everyone, from the first to the last, had stopped somewhere along the way, trapped by one temptation or another. But just before sunset, a young man arrived at the entrance of the fair. He was tired and dusty from his long walk. He smelled the delicious food. He heard the enchanting music. He saw the captivating dancers, the thrilling games, the free-flowing drinks, and the alluring pleasure camp. He saw it all. But he did not stop. Not even for a moment. He kept telling himself one single thing: I must reach the king. With unwavering focus, he walked straight through every single distraction, never slowing his pace. But when he finally reached the palace gates, the guards, who were part of the test, tried one last time to confuse him. The king is busy, one said. Go back and enjoy the fair first. Another chimed in. You're too late. Many others have already gone inside, but the young man's resolve was unbreakable. He replied calmly, Nothing can stop me from reaching my goal. He stepped past the guards and entered the palace. Inside, standing in the grand hall, were the king, his minister, and the old master, all waiting. The king looked at the determined young man, and his face broke into a smile filled with pride. You alone were not distracted, the king said, his voice booming with admiration. You were not sidetracked by comfort or pleasure or fear or temptation. You stayed focused on your purpose. You, and you alone, are worthy of the throne. And on that day, the young man, who owned nothing but his focus and determination, was declared the next ruler of the kingdom. The moral of this story is powerful. Sometimes these distractions come disguised as comfort, like choosing to watch TV instead of working out. Sometimes they appear as pleasure, like endless scrolling on social media instead of reading a book. Sometimes they come as fear, the voices that tell you you're not good enough. And sometimes they come as people trying to confuse you or pull you down. These distractions might seem small and harmless at first, but they have a cumulative effect. They slowly, quietly pull us away from our dreams. Most people stop. Most people give in because temptation almost always feels easier than discipline in the moment. But true success, the kind that changes your life, belongs only to those who keep moving forward, no matter what tries to delay them. It belongs to those who, like the young man, keep their eyes on their goal and refuse to pause for anything that weakens their focus. When you do that, when you refuse to stop, the path will always open up for you. You will always reach where you are meant to be. And that is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that helps you stay focused on your path. See you in the next video.